Welcome to the behind the scenes of what it actually looks like to develop ramwar, the Minecraft FPS. I hit record every time I tested something, so you'll see all of my successes and horrible failures. I start with a bit of code explanation, so if you want to skip that, head to this time. And if you really just want to see the short gameplay at the end, skip to this time. Here we go. Alright, welcome to the video where I start developing the next 6 weapons of ramwar. This is just an impromptu kind of recording. I'm just gonna be developing it, and if anything cool happens, I'll show you what happens. Hopefully this beginning part is actually gonna be quite fast, so I can show you all of what I do. So, over here, let's go ahead and pull up our weapons. Cool. So if we pull up bow and scythe, we're gonna make a new class called Weapon MW Bubble. Then we'll go ahead and do shotgun as well. And we might as well just add the rest of them. So shotgun, rail, gilsing, biped. Cool, we got all our classes. Let's go ahead and go to bow, because bow is probably the simplest of these classes. We're gonna copy and paste the code into each of these classes. Paste all the code in there, and we'll edit as needed. So we'll go to bubble. So each of the weapons is made out of 3 things: inputs, timers, and ammos. And ammo is basically just a number that has a certain amount that keeps track of how many you have with a max, and a little bit of info regarding what it looks like in your inventory. Then there are inputs, which are triggered by any of the things you can do in-game, like moving, jumping, right-clicking. It will basically run code if you do a thing. And then timers are just very similar to inputs, except they just have a timer that they keep track of. When the time runs out, then it will do its activity. But what things will it do? Well, each input and timer are made out of events and requirements. Events are the thing that happens, so shooting a bullet, giving a certain effect. And requirements are requirements in order for that to be able to happen. As well as, so if you right click with a shotgun, you're going to need at least 1 ammo to fire it, so it'll keep track of that. Along with if you're crouching, if you're an incog, all the stuff like that. So if we go back to our weapons, we will see that in bow, it has right here under weapon creation, it has a new timer known as, that is an incog reload, which is, I kind of made a preset for it since incog reloads are used so often. I'll pull that up real quick. So for the timer incog reload, you see that it has a time max, so you can change how much time it takes to reload any type of ammo. It does not reset, so it keeps track of how far it's gone with it, and won't restart depending on if you ever stop reloading. And then it has 2 requirements, which is ammo max, which is false, so you cannot have the max ammo for that certain ammo type. And you have to be in incog mode. Then the events it triggers is just ammo change. It adds 1 to whatever ammo you're working with. So we'll go to bubble here and see that it has an incog reload. Its ammo index of, we're gonna put the bubbles in the, let's see, 4th inventory slot, which is number 3. And it takes 10 ticks or half a second to reload a bubble. Then we have all the rest of bow's code, but we can start modifying it as we need. So let's go ahead and set up a basic shooting of a bubble. So this is the shooting of a bow. It is an input. So we're gonna change the input type to input.rightclick, because we're just gonna have a right click. Let's change real quick. I'll change it so instead of arrow rex, we'll say bubble rex. 1 second. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a requirement for inventory slot 0. So you fire your bubbles from the first slot of the inventory, and it's gonna require that you have at least 1 ammo of ammo index 4 or 3, as we said. Then we're gonna do the events, which it's going to change the ammo and subtract 1 from ammo index 3, and we're basically done. We'll add 1 more bubble event. We'll add event MW, let's see what events we have. because I don't have an event set for spawning bubbles just yet, but we're just setting up the basic code right now. We're gonna do event say event, not MW say, and then blub. What is your issue? Hold on here. Import class. Okay, so it'll say blub whenever you fire a bubble, and then we go ahead and just add that event. Then let's do bubble float. This one should be just as easy. We will... We can basically go ahead and steal all the code from Bo. I don't think we need any of this. Yep, we don't need any of that. So we will just steal this. We'll just change bubble to float really quick. Now we're going to require the inventory slot to be the second slot of the inventory, so slot 1. We're going to require that you have at least 5 ammo in index 3. Then we are going to remove 5 ammo from ammo index 3 on the events, and then we are going to do a new event, which is give effect. Effect self is what it's called, and it asks for a string, the player, then it wants potion effect, levitation, and then it wants the level and the time. I will have to double check what level it is for bubble float, but it should be level 1 for 1 second. We don't need the explode reload, but we can steal float and add descend, which is a new ability I'm adding to bubble. I don't know if it'll stay, but you know, it's worth a shot. Just test it out for right now. So let's change all these to descend. And instead for descend, we will require 2 ammo instead, remove 2 ammo, and give slow falling for 1 second. I think levitation's actually 2 seconds now that I think about it. And let's go ahead and come down here to the ammos. Make a new ammo array, ammo index. Let's see. Its main ammo goes here, which we set a slot. We need this to be longer, don't we? Yeah. Oh, 1, 2, 3. So we have 3 ammo slots. The third. No, we put. I'm dumb. We're actually gonna go back. I realized Bo puts its main ammo in slot 0 anyway, so we're gonna put Bubbles, the starting ammo, at slot 0. So at slot 0, it's gonna have an ammo max of 10, because you have 10 bubbles. The inventory slot is slot 3. It is going to be the moment Hearts of the Sea for graphics, and it's gonna be called a bubble bomb. And then the things that we give it on start is in slot 1. We're gonna give them a, what tool should we give them that I haven't used? Let's give them a diamond hoe. I don't think we don't have any diamond tools yet, so let's do diamond hoe. Amount 1. It's gonna have no enchantments. We're gonna change its name to bubble gun. We're gonna change all of these explosive bows to bub gun. Or bubble launcher. How about that? We don't have any special ammo types that need to go up here, so we can get rid of all this. Bubble launcher into slot 1. And then we will copy all this, make the second slot. What item should it be? Let's make it a prismarine crystals. Item slot 1. We're gonna call this float meta. Set display name, bubble float, cool, and that should be that. Get weapon type, it should be bubble bomb. Descend needs to be of type drop. I'm not even sure if drop is implemented yet. Let's double check and see that it is. So let's go to the drop listener. Yeah, nope, it does not say. So if we go to the jump listener, we're going to steal this line of code and put it into the drop listener. So it cancels their drop if they are not allowed to drop items. It just means they won't be able to drop it out of their inventory. And if they're in game, you can't drop items. and then we'll say game context, player weapon, weapon manager, get player for weapon, run input, type, drop. We'll run a drop if they drop an item. Cool. And now that should be everything for bubble when it comes to this. So now let's go ahead and add it to the other parts of the code. I'm gonna go implement it into the loading and the saving, loading, and getting of the weapon really quick. So now we're on the server with the plugin loaded up, and let's see if we manage to get this to work first try. So we have choose bubble bomb over here, right click that, and perfect, we got everything almost everything is right. We got the, okay, we've messed up several things. This is called bubble float instead of the bubble gun. This didn't get its name because this one stole it, so we probably just messed up the code there. Bubble bombs are here. We only have 6, so I must have needed to change the starting value as opposed to the max. I should be able to reload up to 10. No, I didn't change it, apparently. Okay, let's see if shooting the bubbles works. Nope. Let's see if anything works. No, okay, it's all broken. I had a lot of hope. This does not go well. I'll be right back. So we're back on the server now, and let's go ahead and test and see how it works. Right-clicking this gives me the right amount of bubble bombs, the bubble launcher, and the bubble float, so we got the visual stuff fixed for sure. Now we should be able to right-click with the bubble launcher. No, that's how that works. Right-click with bubble float. Why did I do a scythe bucket? What? Do I technically have scythe right now? Okay, so I didn't even set the weapon properly. Let's go fix that. Welcome back to Blaine Never Bothers to Check the Console for Errors. We were getting an error. If you right-click on bow, you'll notice it says you selected bow. Right-click on bubble, it doesn't, because something doesn't work. To which it goes, and it says ammo is null, and I'm like, oh, yep, I'm dumb. Over here, when we said that there are 3 ammo types, you can't do that. It gets very upset. If you give it more ammo types than it actually has, you can't leave any of them empty, so since we only have 1, there is now 1. Let's build this, and everything should work perfectly now. We're back. Let's see if this works. Select bubble bomb. It says I selected bubble bomb. I have 10 bubble bombs, so I should be able to go to bubble float, right-click. Took my 5 ammo. It didn't give me the levitation. Interesting. Well, let's see if the launcher works. It does indeed work. Cool. So, just the effects don't work, and I need to fix it that I can't actually drop the item. Okay, we're getting somewhere. I'll be back in just a second. Oh, and I forgot to check. Does firing the gun actually work? Yes, we got a blub. Alright, now to fix the other 2. I decided to check the log again, and this doesn't look very good either. Okay, and I was really dumb. We went back and changed the ammo index to 0 for all of these, except for the first one. Great, that only took me 10 minutes to figure out because it was not giving me a good error message. Let's build this and see if it works. And I just found the other issue. Here is the event for giving the effect to yourself. It only has code for speed, jump, and damage resistance. I just straight up have no code for if you ask for anything else. So now, if it's not any of those, it will just give you the effect properly now. So now, bubble should work perfectly. Right? Alrighty, let's see if this works. Let's check for errors, and we have errors. Let's just pretend we don't for a second and set our weapon to bow and then set it back to bubble. Are the errors gone? The errors are gone. We'll worry about loading in bubble properly in a second. As for working though, right click should blub. Blub. Float should work. Let's see if I got this fixed because I highly doubt it. And habooey. Oh, whoops, I meant habooey. Oh, I think I figured it out. It's because the time is in ticks, not in seconds. So, that means descend should be 20 ticks, or 1 second times 20 ticks. 1 second times 20 ticks. And levitation should be 2 times 20 ticks per second. Let's see if this works. Alright, so I have actual reason to believe that it'll actually work this time. Right click for blob, baba booey. Right click for float, float. Drop for descend, drop for descend. I'm pretty sure slow falling is just a really crappy effect, and I probably won't end up using it, but... Or maybe it's not working. I don't even know. We'll see. But we got float working, so... we got effects working. Let's go. I completely forgot. You can just look in the top right corner to see that, yes, indeed, we are slow falling. It's just not a super noticeable effect, even at level 250. But, you know, it's there. So, with that done, we now have the basics of Bubble completely working. We still need to clean it up with, make it nice with noises and particle effects and the actual bubble bombs, but we got the framework in place. Cool. Alright, so we have the basics of Bubble set up, but they are silent and weak. Let's see if we can get Bubble Float looking and sounding good. Sounds will be easy, I'll throw it together real quick, but the particles are a little bit more complicated because in default Minecraft, you can just kind of say like particles in a certain area and it makes like a big blob of them. I don't have access to that anymore. I can just put a particle where I want. So I'm gonna try to make like an ovular shape. I was basically just messing around in an online calculator, tried to find some math that would work, and let's see if that happens. Let's hope we don't end up with the spiral sphere again. Alright, I have absolutely no clue how this is gonna work. Let's just see. Okay, I accidentally creative mode flew, but that could be a lot worse. I don't know what shape I've made. Load enough. It is a box. It is a small little box, it looks like. Well, I did something. Let's go see if we can make that more ovular. Actually, real quick, I was going to do a test of making it bigger just to see what it actually looks like. And it's a box. Okay, well, cool. Let's see. Okay, so I might be really stupid. It looks like there's actually parameters to do like the normal blob from the Minecraft particle effect command. Let's see if it works. It does. Who would have guessed? Okay, well... Or, no, is that the particle... Is that my box again? No, it's not my box. That's just a blob. Okay, well... I don't feel like fixing my blob util that I just spent way too long working on. I'm just gonna use this. I'm just gonna use this. Cool. Alright, well, what next? I guess we make bubble bombs, like actual bubble bombs, instead of just saying blow. Alright, let's get to work on that. Okay, so I lied. I just really wanted to make Descend actually have, like, visuals and sounds. So Float looks like this, but Descend looks like this. Sure, whatever. It does something. Let's test it. I need to make it so the items don't actually get thrown out of your inventory still, but now we can do this. Nice. Is this ability any good? No, it's terrible. I hate it. But it's there, and now it doesn't do anything if you run out of ammo. Cool. I'll go fix the item thing and actually start working on bubble bombs. Alright, so several hours later, we're back. And we should hopefully be able to right-click and fire a bubble bomb that paints the ground, and then dies after a certain amount of time. This is probably going to go terribly, but let's see if we got it partially working. Bang. You know, what can I say? Alright, there was a bug in the console. Hopefully that was just a small little issue, and now if I right-click... Hey! Hey, that's not bad. That's actually pretty... That's doing a lot of what it's supposed to do. It's spawning the item. It's painting the ground. I forgot to give it no gravity. It's firing a little bit fast, I think. We'll check. That's working. That's doing as much as I would have expected the code to do, considering I just completely forgot to give it no gravity. That is really good. That is a lot of progress. Cool. Let me go touch it up real quick. Alrighty, so I removed gravity, and now that's a bubble bomb. It's going supersonic, but that's a bubble bomb. Nice. Okay. We'll drop the speed. I don't know how we're gonna get the right speed from the game, but, you know, that is something to worry about another time. Let's drop the speed, and then we'll do the hard part, which is actually getting the bombs to recognize that they're hitting players, and the RAM, which I'm gonna get some help from Striped Monkey for that. So I'll see you back once we have those potentially working. Alright, so off camera, you've missed me and my friend Striped Monkey working very hard to get custom hitboxes set up. So stuff like the bubble bombs and every other weapon can actually interact with the players and the RAM. We are supposed to have hitboxes working, and we, you know, wanted to display that, so I tried to draw the hitbox around the player. Nothing's there. Nothing around the RAM, so something's not working. But I have a nagging suspicion I know where it is. Let's just check real quick. Yep. Go to the bottom of the world, and there it is. Let's see if we can get that fixed. After one quick change, you'd think, oh, now it's working even less. But I digress. I don't know. It just appears when you go below this part of the world. I don't know. Let's keep editing, I guess. Alright, so I wanted to test to make sure my box drawing method was actually correct before I went through all the code of the hitbox stuff. So I should be drawing a hitbox that's 1 block wide by 2 blocks tall, right at the middle of the world. Let's see if we're right. Where is that? Ugh. Try again. Let's see if we got it this time. No. Okay, so I was being really dumb. I literally ran the code from the wrong spot, so it wasn't even running. Let's see if it works now. Oh. Okay. Interesting. That is actually not what I was expecting. So it is the drawing of the box that is incorrect, not the hitbox code. So good thing I checked this, because I would have been programming in the completely wrong spot. Let's see if we can get this box to display right. Okay, so I looked at the code. It seems like I just might have needed to divide by 2, and that's why it was so wide. Let's see if that fixes it. That looks like the proper size. That's 1 block by 2. Let's see it. It's not centered around the middle, but it definitely is the right size. Okay. Interesting. Cool. Progress. At least we know that that was part of it. I thought that would fix the whole scrunching issue, where they're like scrunched into the positive corner. You can see they're all in the positive direction. That's positive X and Z. Interesting. Alright. Let's try something else. Alright, so I changed 1 division by 2, and this could either fix it perfectly or break it completely. Let's see. Nice. Daggone it. Okay, we're getting somewhere. It's the same thing, but now it's in the negative direction. I've just been adding -1 to various locations, hoping that would fix it because it looked like it was just shifted by 1 block. I think if I do -0.5, it'll center it right in the middle, and we should have it working. Do I know why? Absolutely not. But I don't care because this is just a graphic. I just want it to work. Alright, so I reread the code and realized I removed a bunch of stuff I shouldn't have, and I complicated it more than I needed to. This should fix it, hopefully. I think we got this under control. And let's see. Yes! There we go. That's a box. Oh, that's so neat. That's so neat. Oh, that's so neat. That's so cool. Okay, cool. We got hitboxes. Now, I'll be back in just a second. I'm going to put them on the player and the RAM, and we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. We can actually start testing with the hitboxes because I got the stupid display for it working. Let's go. Let's go. Okay. Be back once we have hitboxes, or think we have hitboxes on the player and the RAM. Okay, so I was going to go write the code to make the hitboxes show up on the player, but I forgot that that is technically already running and should be working. So, does that mean if I come down here that... Okay, strange. So, first of all, we have hitboxes on the player working, which is awesome, but it's only down here for some reason. Absolutely no clue what that's about, but I'm sure we can figure it out. Cool. Be back once we hopefully have this fixed. Maybe? Alright, so it's the next day, and I think I just figured the solution to the code. The reason why it was only displaying down in the void was because the code that says if you're near the hitbox, display it, like to make sure that you're not trying to render the hitbox if you're like really far away, was saying if you're near that spot in the void, render it. So now I should be able to join the server, and if all goes according to plan, yes, we got it working. There is a hitbox on me, actually, finally, we got it. Cool. That means we should be able to double check that if we start a game, we should have a RAM with a hitbox that's shorter than mine. And there it is. That's not the proper size hitbox, I just realized. I guess the sheep's hitbox is bigger than a block. I'll have to look into how big it actually is. But now, I'll probably change it off the flame particles because they're a bit obnoxious to something a little bit that lasts a little bit shorter. Then we should be able to test and see like if the player is colliding with the RAM. Not that I need that, but just for testing purposes. We'll be back once we have a way to check if they're colliding. Alright, we're actually back for a second. I wanted to make sure that the hitboxes were actually right, so I changed the particle to something that lasts a little bit shorter, like the electric spark. And I double-checked and modified the hitboxes to what Minecraft actually uses, and as you'll see, the particles are perfectly on line with my hitboxes. Because the players and the sheeps are both, like, not exactly 1 blocks by whatever. So, now they are perfectly aligned. Now let's get back to the testing of the interactions. So now as soon as I start the game, it should start saying intersecting no one. Cool. And then all we gotta go do... Oh, we got an issue. Or not? Why are the hitboxes not showing up anymore? Well, let's see if it works. It does not work. Alright. So the hitbox is displaying properly here. If all goes according to plan, I should be able to join the game and still have the hitbox displaying because it would stop displaying before. And it should start saying that no... 3, 2, 1, go! It should say that nobody, yep, no one is intersecting, and I can still see my hitbox. Awesome. So hopefully we've made a ton of progress if I can touch my hitbox to the ram's hitbox and have it say it's intersecting me. Here we go. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's really awesome. That's accurate, too. Oh, that's really cool. Cool. So, we officially have hitboxes working. The math worked first try, which is awesome. Cool. So, we got hitboxes, basic hitboxes working now. So we should just be able to slap one onto the bubble bomb and do its explosions and whatnot, depending on whether or not it collides with a player or the RAM. Cool. On to that next. You'll notice a change of scenery here as we've upgraded to 1.20, but back to code. Since it was brought back to my attention again that boxes may have some issues when it comes to collisions that I think cylinders could fix. So I just spent the last while hopefully setting up hit cylinders as well. We still have the hit boxes, but I set up hit cylinders now. And hopefully, if I load in, it should display a cylinder now. Let's see if we can get that. Absolutely nothing. Who would have guessed? Anything in the console? Nope. Alright, well, that's fun. I'll be right back. Alright, so hopefully now I'm just displaying a cylinder above me like I did the box, and hopefully should have a cylinder. That's actually not terrible. I think the width is just screwed up. And it's centered on the corner. Okay. We'll mess with it a little bit. This time I just removed it divided by 2 to see if it was even a cylinder. What shape is this? It's like a oblong. Okay, something just isn't right here. Because it's also filled. I was hoping to see it empty. Okay, let's try redoing some stuff. Alright, so I have confidence in this one. It turns out I was actually multiplying the random number by the random number, which was probably making some really weird pattern. But, let's see... That looks like a messy box. That's not helpful. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Okay, quick test just to make sure I understand vectors, and even bigger box. Wow. Alright, so it turns out I was doing math and then not actually using that math. That's why we were getting the box, I think. So hopefully this should be cylindrical, even if it's not the right size yet. Haha, never mind. That's perfect, isn't it? Let me... Yeah, it's just barely touching the outsides of the edges of the block. Down here, I should see a circle occasionally. Yeah, that's a cylinder. That's a hitbox around me. See, this is what we're hopefully going to have the hitbox looking like. Something like this around me, so it's more uniform, as opposed to here, where it has like these sharp corners that can be like hit from different angles. This should hopefully be a lot nicer. Cool. We got a cylinder working. Let's go. Now we are going to attach this to the player. Alright, I think it was spawning it way above me because I accidentally added the location twice. So this should put a cylinder around me and the RAM. My face will be covered in particles, yes. It's shifted up accidentally. But other than that, that's my hitbox. And if I turn this on, it should be just around the same size as the box. It should go to the very tips of the not the corners, but the sides. Cool. We'll go through the RAM real quick. Yeah, don't mind the mutton. There's currently a bug where the sheep actually drops mutton. But that's a cylinder around him that's even wider. Again, the height's messed up. I'll fix that real quick. But there we go. We got cylinder hitboxes showing up now. Cool. Alright, and now we should have a cylinder in the exact right spot with a little bit more particles to make it a little bit more clear. And let's come down to the ground. Awesome. It is perfectly lined up with our player. There's enough particles to see that it's clearly round, clearly goes to the edge of our hitbox. Go to the RAM real quick. And also don't mind the intersecting no one, that is for checking the you guys have already seen that, what am I saying? The intersections with the player. I don't want mutton, thank you. Yeah. Hitbox is perfectly right. Circular around the RAM. Cool, we got it. Let's go. As for next, I'm gonna get help from Striped Monkey to get the hitbox collisions working for cylinders, because that math is hard and I don't feel like figuring it out completely on my own. So I'll probably go make hit spheres. Yeah, make hit spheres and make those collide, since we're gonna need hit spheres for stuff like the explosive arrow. Cool. Be back with hopefully some quickly working spheres this time. Alright, so I implemented the basics for a sphere, and since I already programmed the graphic for the sphere, for the explosive arrow, we should be all good. Look at that. Why am I still on a map? That's an issue, I think. I don't know. But we got the sphere working. Let's start a game, see if it works on the RAM. Looks pretty neat too, not gonna lie. This is the first one that doesn't use random, because I actually did math for spheres. Yeah. There we go. Cool. Now we just need to get the math set up so that we can actually calculate the intersections. And then we can start applying this to some weapons. So we'll get Bubble Bomb up and going soon. Alright, so I believe I just set up the basic code for sphere collisions. Let's see if that works. I should just be able to touch the sheep with mine, and it says it. There we go. Let's just double check. Let's go creative. Do it from a couple different angles. Touch. Good. Do it from this side. Yeah, baby. That was easy. First try. It was literally, you just compare the distance from the centers of the two. Let's even double check something like this. That shouldn't be touching. Now it is. Not touching. Now it is. Cool. So we got sphere collisions working. I don't feel like figuring out cylinders or cylinders cylinders versus cylinders or cylinders versus spheres by myself. Spheres was easy. So what we'll do for now is we'll leave spheres on the player and the ram, and then we will start implementing the explosive behavior of bubble bombs, and I can even attach this to explosive arrows now to make them more accurate. Because explosive arrows originally just used your location, which is a tiny dot at where your feet or the ram's feet are, and if you're within that, so technically if your head is in the explosion, it doesn't count. So now I can put a sphere collider on the explosive arrow, and now it will include hitting your head. So ramwar, compared to its original version, is going to be a lot easier to hit people, at least at the start. I can obviously make the hitboxes smaller if need be. So be back when we have a hitbox on a bubble bomb. Alright, so I take it back. I'm not doing bubble bombs. I think I actually figured out how to start doing the code for the intersection between a sphere and a cylinder, so I wanted to go ahead and try that. So let's load into game. And the shape should have a massive cylinder around it. Coolio. Now, I haven't finished the code yet, but it should be set up to where if the center of the sphere is between the top and the bottom of the cylinder, if we collide there, we should get an intersection. So if I just barely move up here, ha 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 ha, that's step one. That's step one. We have collisions like that. Now the only thing we have to do is, if I move the top above the cylinder, it doesn't recognize hitting the top plane. It's only once the middle of the sphere is between the top and the bottom of the cylinder. So this is an obvious collision right here. And we need to get that working. And I should have the math for that. So let's get back. Thank you, game. I know how to use incog mode. Let's get back with the, yes, I will do that now. I will make collision between top. Alright, the combination of my awesome plan and a little bit of direction from Striped Monkey for the trig, a lot of trig that ended up having to be done, we should be able to detect if you are touching the top or bottom face now. So if I go up, this should be the normal one. If I touch this, it's touching. Cool. The situation where it did not work previously was like this. The middle of the sphere is definitely above the cylinder, but the bottom is definitely going to line up. And we got it. Let's check a couple heights. Let's drop a little bit. This is difficult to control. That's definitely the middle is above the cylinder. Colliding. Let's do the very bottom. Is that even touching? Barely. You see, you can get that close right there. There's a little bit more sphere under here. It just doesn't display with the particles because it is a full sphere. But it doesn't touch right there. It does right there, but it doesn't right there. It does right there. Haha, that's awesome. Okay, cool. So we should have perfect collisions between spheres and cylinders now, which means I can put cylinders on the player and the ram, put spheres on explosive arrows and bubble bombs, and now actually start doing detections. Instead of moving to bubble bombs, what I'll probably do is go ahead and do explosive arrows, since most of explosive arrows are already working, and just change it to a hitbox really quick. And then we should, thank you game, I know, and then we should have explosive arrows working with a new system, and then we can start implementing new stuff. Cool. Be back with hopefully explosive arrows. Alright, so we should have two things to test now. One, there should be a hitbox on the arrow that is a massive sphere that should now be displayed when I fire an arrow. Awesome. Is that, like, impossible to look at and tell what the heck you're looking at? Yes. Does it get the point across? Yes. Second, when that collides with the ram, it should change it to... Game, I know. I need to disable hints, I swear. If it goes near the ram, I'm gonna on purposely miss. Yeah, that missed. But if it collides this time, it paints the ram. Let's see if I can slowly approach it. Missed. That's a hit, right? Let's use an explosives don't have hitboxes yet. Don't worry about that. If I go back here, change back to red team. That's a miss. That's definitely still a miss. We're really close though, right? Yeah. Move just a smidge closer. Cool. And let's actually try skimming off the top of his head. Nice, except that wasn't really a skim, that was more of I just shot through it. Nice. Nice. There we go. Yeah, I'd say it's pretty not even pretty accurate, I'd say it's perfectly accurate. Awesome. So we have hitboxes working on projectiles now. I will finish upgrading bow, explosive arrow, and all of its like functionality to be hitboxes just for the sake of having this game finally get somewhere, despite the fact I'm redoing bow for the 5th time. But once I do that, then we can start working on bubble. Cool, let's finish bow. Alright, so I should now have it to where explosive arrows also do everything with hip shapes. So the original painting of passing the ram works, and then I'm just changing team with that command every time. We are gonna fire a normal arrow at a distance that doesn't heal the ram. A bit further. Cool, so that misses the ram. So if I do an explosive arrow, it should not heal the ram at first, but then it should change the team and damage it. Who could have guessed? The game's telling me to use incog mode. Alright. And so that should be explosive arrows working perfectly with the system. So now arrow is up to date, which means I can move on to the next weapon, which I realized I should probably slap it onto Scythe's bucket ability, since that could be a cylinder. I'll be back with that real quick. Alright, so I went through and made sure that the bucket for Scythe now properly uses hitboxes, but I completely forgot that I need multiplayer to test that. So there's the bucket ability. Just take my word for it that it probably works. And I also made it so explosive arrows actually deal damage using the hitboxes as well. Is it bubble time now? I think it's bubble time now. And then we get to what was supposed to be a small detour. Me and Striped Monkey were gonna go and fix one of the little references that was like all throughout the code to make sure it was set to the right thing, and we did that. That took like an hour, but then something broke, and then we had to fix it, and honestly, I fixed the issue by copy and pasting one line of code to somewhere it didn't make any sense, and I am gonna spare you any more details than that, but it was a mess. Just know that in between all of the nice little cool things I'm showing off in this video, there is so much horrid, messy code that goes on in time hours spent doing stuff. So don't look up to me as someone who's perfect at this. It took us a lot of effort. So now that we created our hit shape and our explosion shape, we have to just set up what kind of sizes they are. So all we do is come down here and we say hit shape equals new hit. We're gonna make it a sphere, hit sphere. And then all we do is just give it the dimensions. So what it asks for is first the entity. So let's give it the bubble bomb it's attached to. So that's going to be the item right up here. So we're going to hand it the item so it knows where to do all this. And then it just wants, I believe, a diameter and a vertical offset. Yep. So the diameter for the hit sphere, it detects things within one block of it. And there's no offset since it's surrounded perfectly around it. Duplicate that line of code, make it the explode shape, make it another sphere, and it detonates a little bit bigger than it detects, so that's a detonation of radius of 2. Except I'm stupid because it's radius, so that's 2, and that's 4. Then all I have to do to detect if the bubble hits something is this simple line of code that just says if sheep is in the hit shape, or enemy is in the hit shape, run all the events for detonation, and then get rid of the item. That's all it takes. Let's see if this works already. Alright, so here's the ram. We got bubble bomb selected. This should hurt the ram, change its color, and make a sound when it touches it. We're part of the way there. We got the sound. So the detection is perfect. The killing of the item is also perfect. But we're not doing the damage or healing the ram, which is interesting. Let's take a look into that. Alright, with quick help from Prismly, I was actually setting the size of the detonation hitbox after telling it to use the detonation hitbox, so there just wasn't one. So now this should work. Yes! We have bubble bombs working. Awesome. And then let's check if it kills players really quick. Alright, so I'll fire a bubble at the ground, change to blue team. I'm in creative mode, ignore that. Alright, fire a bubble bomb, change to red team. It's not gonna work because I have spawn invincibility on. I fire a bubble bomb, change back to blue. Thank you. Okay, so bubble bombs now work on players and the ramp. Cool. As for what next, I'll probably clean up the bubble bomb. I'll get back to you on whatever that is in just a second. Alright, so I added 2 things. I should now have the particle for the explosion. That is not the explosion I was looking for, but it works. And it shouldn't detonate immediately upon standing inside. I should right-click. Okay, it didn't even hit him at all. It still didn't hit him. Okay, I think the reason why I don't like how long, I don't like the fact that this misses, but I think it's because the bubble bombs are moving really fast. Usually they move a lot slower, so I can slow them down a bit. Alright, cool. Both of those worked, quotation marks. Alright, so we should have the correct particle now, and possibly a better speed on the bubbles. No, okay, that's the exact same speed, but the particle is right now. Cool. Let's fix that speed. Alright, so I haven't calculated the exact speed yet, but it should be a little bit better now. That's more what I'm talking about. So now if I do stand inside of the sheep, I should be able to, hit the ram from inside, because you can definitely do that in the original version. Cool. Alright. Things to do. Oh, we still have Bubble's reload attack. Bubble Bomb, when it reloads bombs, it actually can damage things as it's reloading. That should be really easy, I think? Let's see. Let's see if we can get that working. Alright, so what we should have is if I paint the ground right here, we should be able to go into incog mode and reload our ammo with nothing happening. But as soon as my hitbox gets within the radius of the ram, so we'll reload right here, also nothing happens. 1 second. Alright, trying again. No. Alright, so it turns out that since I have 3 different types of shapes, I didn't go through and code all of the intersections, and I forgot to do cylinder to cylinder, because I never expected to have to do that. And I decided to keep the bubble reload simple and just use the player's hitbox, so that, you know, it makes sense when or not you're touching other players of the RAM. So let's just check if I got cylinder collisions to work. Dang it. Okay, give me 1 second. You know, you'd be surprised how often I write complicated code and then just forget to tell it to run. But so now it should be actually running the code, and we get up close, we should get an intersection, should be able to ride around the outside, step out, step in, step out, coolio. Also, we should be able to do the tops and bottoms only. Well, that ain't right. Okay, it's infinite height. Let's figure that out. Alright, let's see if these collisions work now. Step beside it, it works. Most importantly, go, oh, why? Alright, so I got my answer as to why this wasn't working. Sometimes you find the answer just by telling it to spit out information into chat for you. Right here are the locations of the tops and bottoms of the cylinders, and these are the numbers I've been comparing, which they don't change no matter where I'm standing vertically, because it's just the relative coordinates. I forgot to add the actual, like, real-world location. Let's do that, and this intersection should begin working. Alright, so this should be working now. We'll slide up beside it. Touching not. Touching not. Touching not. Most importantly, not touching. Coolio. Let's slowly approach it. Not touching it. Touching it. Not touching it. Touching it. Touch just the corner. Coolio. Check the bottom corner. Yeah. We're good. Awesome. So we got cylinders versus cylinders working. Now let's just go slap this onto bubble reload, and we should have that working now.
So now we should be able to fire a bomb, reload, and have nothing happen, other than getting ammo back. But now, when there's paint near the ram, and I come over here and reload while touching him, haha, bubble reload. So if I throw out all my bubbles and stand here, that's one of the ways that bubble can kill the ram a little bit faster. Nice. Cool. We got that working. I forgot to add the painting of the ground when it does that, but that's one line of code. So, that's bubble reload. So now we got, I think that's every feature of bubble done. Let's go. I'll be back with whatever we do next. Alright, so we should have potentially 2 things working. I tried to just throw the old bubble bomb model from the last version, the command version of the game into this. Let's see if we got it. I don't think the ones in the inventory actually count just yet, so the ones in the real world, though. Okay, yeah, don't worry about it. But the one thing that should be working is now when you do the bubble, the reload explode, it should paint a 2x2 around you. There we go. So, I actually realized that it actually needs to be whenever you reload, because that's how it used to work, is reloading would actually paint a 2x2 around you. Huh, never really thought about it that much, but I guess we'll implement it that way. It's easy enough. Alright, we should hopefully have the visuals for Bubble Bomb. For Bubble Bomb? At least. Now, though, we should have it set up where the reload now paints. I'm also going to assume that the bubble graphics are just not working because it's from, 1.12. So I'll look into that real quick. Yes. Bubble Bomb. I swear to everything, I forgot a comma. I swear if that's the only reason this is broken, Okay, it's not the only reason it's broken. It was the main reason it was broken, most likely, but it's not the only reason. Okay, cool. We're back to iron blocks. Honestly, that's a win. Alright, so we got it to shoot green check marks, which means that we're able to set the model correctly. It is just indeed the model that's buggy. Let's keep messing with it and see if we can figure out why. Alright, so flashback to when we saw the giant purple and black floating blocks. You'll notice that the other iron blocks in the world have also changed to purple and black, meaning that I was modifying the block and not the item specifically. So now I should be just editing the item specifically, and we're close. We're really close. This is a small black and pink box, purple, whatever. It's a small one, which means the model's working, it's just not the texture. One more little switch and we should have this working. Hopefully this was real easy and I just forgot to implement the code I had written elsewhere, but it should be working now. Okay, if this test does what it's supposed to do, this should be really funny looking. It's not gonna be correct, as you'll see, but who would have guessed? It didn't even do anything. Alright, so if this test works, it should look even funnier than before. But let's just see if we can get it to do it. Screw that stupid test, let's see if we can just get it to work. Alright, so it turns out I was actually not even modifying the correct text file. I was modifying the one from the old version of the game, not the one in the new version. Well, the test worked. Okay, it should be working now. One second, let me go put the actual texture on it. What? I swore this was gonna work. Oh, see, the bomb's in there. Interesting. Something about the opacity of the bubble is not working. Let's figure out what that is. Alright, we got a version of it working. It didn't like the half transparency because it was a little bit cloudy on the
bubble originally. I don't know if that was an Optifine thing originally, or if I'm just doing something wrong, but I don't really care to deal with it right now. So that's our bubble bomb. It's working. It's animated. It looks good. Cool. Bubble bombs are in the game. Wait. I think that means they're done. Yeah? I think that's everything. I fixed the reload. I gotta go do the math about the speed of the bomb, and I'll go. Fine, I'll go compare it to make sure it works exactly the same as it did in command. I'll be back. Alright, so we're in 1.12 now, playing the original command block version of the game. As you can see, the bubble bombs have a little bit of like cloudiness to them, and it also looks better in the hotbar. I don't know why that changed, but oh well. Don't mind the mess that is this hub. I've done a lot of things here. So first thing we're gonna test is, where does the bubble come out from? If I throw it, that's what I thought. I didn't think it came out from the eyes. It comes out, that's really hard to tell. Okay, well, it comes out from there, as opposed to, oh, that's full screen. As opposed to there. It's a little bit high here. All right, so we'll fix that, and then we need to mainly go check is the distance that these bubbles travel. So we'll do a test for that real quick. All right, so here's our test. We're just gonna spam a bunch of bubble bombs since they're kind of randomized, and see that they all die before getting to this block, pretty much. Let's do one more test. Thank you, game. Very cool. Welcome back to command, where you die when you do certain things. Okay. Yep, that's pretty accurate. It stops right here. Let's do it on the other version. All right, let's just fire a couple. Yeah, it's definitely not nearly as far. All right, let's see if we can bump that distance up so it reaches where the other ones did. All right, test number 1 for the new speed. Should stop right there. That's pretty good. Like, already, that's pretty accurate. Stopped a little bit before. Whereas here, probably it's laggy. Oh, that's exactly it. That's perfect. Yeah, that's it. We got it right. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised, because I use the number 0.3. I wouldn't be surprised if 0.3 is the actual number they used. It's not a bad number, because it's not like the item throw distance was probably thought about very hard when they originally designed it. It makes it a little further sometimes, but I say we leave it at that for now. Cool. So we got the bubble bomb distance and speed fixed. That should be everything for bubble bomb, right? Like everything? I think we're done. Completely done. Finished. Weapon number 3. Let's go. All right. Well, then I guess on to starting the basics of shotgun. Oh, and I completely forgot. I said I was going to change the height at which the bubble bombs come out. So now, come out a little bit lower in your face. I might bump it up a little bit, but at least we got that fixed. And I also made it so that the velocity of the player is actually added to your fire. So that should mean that if I jump down and fire, they fall faster. Whereas if I'm jumping... Okay, so apparently just adding the velocity is not the way to go about that at all. Okay, we might just hold off on doing that part of that for right now, but at least we'll remove that for a second, but we'll come back to that. All right, and with everything for bubble completed, we get to move on to shotgun. Psych! We're adding Toaster. Toaster is a joke weapon, or was originally a serious weapon I was adding to the game, but ended up being just terribly busted, so I kept the idea as a joke weapon. I should be able to pick... Cool. I got most of it work. Crap, I forgot to not make it a bow. Give me a second.
Wait, crap. I forgot to explain why I'm making Toaster. Toaster is just a gun. It's a pistol with 12 barrels. And you fire all the bullets, like all 12 bullets at once. It's just an insta-kill gun with decent range. Is that fair at all in this game? Absolutely not. But is it funny, and do we do cool 1v10s against it? Yeah. Yeah, we can. So, yeah, we're gonna add Toaster because it's gonna teach us how to do ray casting. We'll learn how to shoot bullets, and then we'll shoot bullets with a shotgun, since shotgun's a little more complicated. Cool. I'll be back with the basic setup for it working. All right, so we should be able to select Toaster now. It gives us the Toaster and 24 bullets. You right-click to fire. Bang! You lose 12 bullets. Bang! You lose 12 bullets. Can't shoot anymore. You reload really fast. Bang, bang, bang. Oh, we need to make it require that you have 12 ammo. Bang, bang. Cool. I'll fix that real quick. And then, oh gosh, it'll be a while till I'm back again, probably. I'll have to set up ray casting and hopefully get it to where I can shoot the ram and deal damage. That's gonna be a lot. You don't realize how much work I'm about to do off screen. It's gonna be a lot. All right, I'm back. It's been literally just 1 minute. I went ahead and fixed the other two little things. If you notice, when I clicked on Toaster, it kept the bubble float in my inventory. Now that goes away. If I fire my bullets and I only have 6 on me, I can't fire the gun. But if I get to 12, it does work. Get to 11, it doesn't work. Cool. All right. Those two little things fixed. Now time for the painful ray casting. Alright, I'm back after a lot of work. Presently came in and helped me with a lot of the math and stuff. And we're gonna see a very awesome result. Oh, wow, I didn't mean to actually show it off right away, but it worked. There we go. There is a particle in my head. That is the start of the ray cast. It will start there. And honestly, the fact that this actually displays is honestly baffling. I'm surprised that it worked first try. Next, we're gonna get, since shotgun has like a blast with like multiple of them, we're trying to set up the raycast class, despite the fact Toaster doesn't need it. We're gonna get multiple places that it can launch from your head, so like slightly above and slightly below. You'll see what I mean in just a second. All right, we're back, and there are no other particles. I didn't tell it to draw them, daggone it. All right, so now we should actually be drawing the particles. Let's see what we get. We have... Oh, that's neat. It's not correct, but it's neat. It should be, one should stay above my head, and one should stay to the right of my head. Instead, we get this weird rotatey-doo. All right. Let's see if we can modify the math to get this to properly do it. Alright, so I just made 2 of the numbers negative because it looked like that was kind of the issue. We still have the same issue. We didn't fix it, but it just changed the side. Interesting. I'll study this a little bit more. We'll figure this out. We're close. The fact that we have it working like this at all means we're getting there. We're getting there. We're close. We're close. We're close. Alright, so I swapped a different thing to being negative. Let's see what that does. It's like it's... I don't know what needs to be negative. I don't know what needs to be negative. Let's just keep messing with it. Okay, while waiting for this to load, I realized I did something completely wrong, but let's see what we get and if it partially works. That... They're almost working. They're almost working. They're almost working. Let me fix the thing I know that's obviously wrong, and then we'll see what else is wrong. Alright. So, the one that's in front of me... I don't know. I'm gonna change the colors of the particle so I know which one's which. Alright, so I also am displaying to chat my yaw and pitch to make sure I understand how those work. But I made one little change. Haha! I knew it would be right or left. Oh, but the vertical part is still screwy. Or no. I don't know. Let's see if this matches up. Vertical is, oh, negative 90, 90.
Yeah, these are exactly the same. Cool. Let's see. So after a lot of work, we don't have a solution. But I decided while Prismly was working on the one thing that I would work on actually drawing some lines. I didn't tell it to draw the lines. Oh, ooh. It works. We got our lines. So the origins are working. Oh, and it spins too. Oh, it spins around the other one because of the weird way it works right now. Oh, wow. Oh, sorry, okay. Cool. So I've done this part, which is actually make sure that, like, ray casting from the origins works. Now we still gotta figure out how to fix the origins. Alright, so Prismly just did basically all the math work for me, and is here to see if it works. Say hello. We should just have the dots working, one to my right shoulder, one above our head, that rotates with us. We have... Okay, we're close. We're close. No, the fire one works perfectly. The up and down is rotating with us. It is the right one that is staying with the right. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Alright, so I think I came up with maybe a possible solution, but if not, Prismly has most likely a better one. Let's just see what happens. I got it. Yeah, that works. So now what we'll do is we'll put one in the top corners and everything and just make a bunch of them just to make sure that the math works for more than just these 2 points. And then we can slap the lasers onto them again. Cool, be right back. Haha! Square. There you have it. Cylinder. But, I mean, it works. Alright, and now we should have lasers. Okay, lasers. What's next? Gun. Yes, gun. Alright, so after a lot of work messing with raycasts, we should have our first version of a raycast that's actually able to do something now. So I should be able to right click and... That's a raycast. Awesome. It fires. Let's see if it kills things. It currently doesn't paint the ground, so I don't have a way to reload. But if I shoot the ram, it should change its color and do half its health. No. Okay, we're getting there. Let's see if we can get that to work. Okay, so I'm actually back. I did manage to shoot the ram off camera, actually, and it seemed like it only let me shoot it if it was at the very tip of the range, which is strange. I was standing up here, and I shot it from here. Okay, so it works a little bit better than I thought it did, but it still has an issue. Let's go figure out what it is. Alright, so I'm assuming that the issue was the collisions. So I'm gonna see if a point actually properly intersects with the cylinder. It doesn't touch there, it does touch there. It does touch there. The location's right at my feet, that particle, it's like barely covered up. It seems like it's working. So I don't think it's an issue. Is that not inside? I don't think that's the issue. Yeah. I don't know. Oh, that's concerning. No, I don't think. Alright, so with help from Moontier, we got this figured out. Turns out there was some code from the player that was running before the sheep that was setting the Y value to 0 because of me trying to check math, and honestly, I don't really know why it turns out that only at flat angles would it not register, so I have no clue. Yeah, I have no clue how we were getting that result, but now if I shoot the sheep right on the edge, got it. Stand right here, the issue that was happening in the first place, straight through it, shoot, got it. Don't mind all the text, that was us checking to make the thing work. But now we have raycasting working. I'm gonna set the RAM back to normal.
and hopefully we should just be able to shoot the ram as is, and then we can move on towards making Toaster a little bit more, touch it up a little bit more with some couple more features, and then we can move on to Shotgun, I believe. Alright, so I got tired of not having ammo, so now the gun just can't do that. So now we should be able to fire near it. Nothing, 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 nothing. Got it. Got it, got it. Oh, we shot too fast. Cool. That should be just about perfect. Missed, hit him, missed, hit him, missed, hit him, hit him, stand inside of him, hit him. Shoot over top of him, miss, hit him. Cool. We have working raycasts. So now, golly, we have working raycasts. We have working raycasts. Okay. So that means now I should just be able to slap on, like, the other parts of making it work like a gun. The paint. That just means I need to make it paint. I'm pretty sure I just need to make it paint. Once it paints, that should be working bullets that I can then slap onto Shotgun as well. We'll make the particles look a little bit nicer later, but that should be... Yeah. Yeah, let's do that real quick. Alright, so hopefully we should have claiming the ground working for raycast guns now. I haven't tested it at all. Let's see if it works. Oh, so nice, so nice. Yep, and it works at angles. Thank you, game. Who would have guessed that you could go into incog mode? If I look up at a slight angle, so like, let's see. If I stand over here and shoot straight, it'll go that far. But if I look up slightly, it shouldn't reach that far because it has a limited vertical range. Yep. And if I look perfectly straight up, we should just get a 3x3. Yep. That was really easy. It's almost like I made my system really smart, which means as I get further and further into adding stuff, it should become leagues easier to add new stuff. But now this is a working gun. Is it any good with the current stats? I don't know. But if I crank up the damage to the absurd numbers that is what I expect Toaster to be, it becomes a boss weapon or just a crutch weapon to play around with for fun. It won't be in most likely public lobbies anytime soon, but for like live streams and stuff, we'll have it to play with. So that means now that I have this working, I should be able to just go add Shotgun now that I got all the raycast stuff working. Rocket jumping should just be a factor of velocity setting. And yeah, let's go try to throw together a Shotgun. Alright, so we should have the first version of Shotgun implemented. We have the Shotgun and the Shotgun shells. And I made a new method called Raycast Blast, where you just give it a count of how many blasts you want vertically and horizontally and how far they are. And we should get a blast of 5x5 raycasts that are about 0.2 blocks apart. Bang. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, it's so hard to tell what we're looking at, but like, that's it. Oh gosh, reloading this gun takes forever. But that is 25 raycasts rotating with my camera. Awesome. Alright. So now that we got that, golly, now that we got that, we have most of Shotgun working. We just gotta lock its rotation, because Shotgun is only allowed to shoot horizontally, it cannot shoot up or down. So we'll just lock that pitch real quick, and then we'll probably just go ahead and do rocket jump, and then clean up with some visuals with the particles for the blast. Cool. Alright, so Shotgun's pitch should now be locked. That looks good. Still looks good. And still looks good. Alright, so it only shoots horizontally now. And I went ahead and did one more thing. It shouldn't be able to fire through blocks now. So if I stand right up against this wall... Awesome. Right up against here. Yep. Even the particles stop, don't they? Alright, let's see.
They do, I think. Wait, does that mean some of them can blast past? I think so. Yeah! Yeah, that's the shotgun mechanics right there. So it's like, if there's a corner, you can kind of like partially blast someone around it. Let's go. Okay, cool. Awesome. So we got all that. There's actually a couple changes I'm gonna go make to Bubble real quick to make sure the bubbles actually get destroyed by various interactions, because we're gonna need that for Rocket Jump anyways. Alright, so this one's a little bit harder to test. I need to shoot bubbles while I'm on the other team. So I'm gonna spam red bubbles, change to blue, change to bow, and then shoot them. Bubbles, blue, bow. That is the none weapon. Daggone it. Look at this great weapon. Yay! That was just a test weapon from a while ago. Let's try that again. Let's try that again. Bubbles, change to red, change to bow. That's... Shoot the bubbles, change to blue, change to bow. Fire. Cool. That destroys them. And then they should be destroyed by Scythe as well. I'm on blue team. Shoot the bubbles, change to red, change to Scythe. Change to Scythe. Shoot the bubbles, change to blue, change to Scythe. Bubble. Okay, cool. It destroyed them. Cool. So now bubbles get destroyed in their various interactions. And that should be set up to work with all other projectiles as needed, and I can now do it based on a hit shape for the, like, bucket uses a hit shape, so I can use that for the rocket jump as well. Cool. I'm not gonna promise what I'm gonna do next, because I don't even know what I'm doing next. Let's just see what happens next. Alright, so I went ahead and started setting up basic particles for the guns, so we should have Toaster's particles working. Ooh, that's nice. Honestly, it's more particles than I thought there would be, but it's kind of clean. As long as it's not laggy. I don't think it's laggy. Cool. So that was basic, because that's just a straight line. But for shotgun, we're going to want it to have to, like, spread out the further it goes. So we'll try to set that up now. Alright, so big issue with what we just did. I realized that since we're only using a single raycast to generate the particles, and we have the blast, I added the blast to Toaster, so now it blasts like a little bit of width. That means that if I aim at this block, where the middle one is going to hit it, but the side ones can still shoot the ram, it hits the ram, doesn't paint past it, and the particles just stop dead in their tracks right there. Yet the ram is dead, and it looks like it hasn't been touched. So that means I can't simplify things for the painting and for the particles, or else we're going to have inconsistencies between where the bullets actually go. So that means I am going to add it to all of the ray casts, I think? Let's try it. Alright, so I went through and redid a lot of Toaster to see if we could get this fixed. Now, all three, the damage, the claiming, and the particles are all done with the same ray casts, so I should be able to aim at this block. Let's see if it works in the first place. I couldn't see. I expected this to paint 3 wide. Let's see if we can get that to work. If I stand in the middle of this block, it should paint. Yeah, that's what. Oh, that's strange. Okay, I'll mess with that some more. But now at least the best part about this is since it works at all, means if I shoot at the block, some of it goes past. Oh, I shot the block completely, 1 second. Now some of it goes past, cool. I'll widen this back up, because I thought it would do a 3x3 on default, but... Oh, it's like impossible to see, though. Ugh, this is a pain, but it's working. I don't know. We're moving on to something else. Shotgun? Maybe do this. I think we're going to make shotgun into a cone now so that the particles are actually representative of, like, the shot. We'll see. Be back. Alright, so I wanted to double check that the, like, blast cast was actually properly working, like the bullets were separated properly. So I made this. Yeah, it's terrifying, but it proves that it works. I was mostly worried about... You'll see there's like 4 horizontally and 3 vertically. I wasn't sure if even and odd worked properly, but they do. So now what I'm going to do is... Honestly, it's been like a day. I forgot if I said I was going to do anything else. Hopefully I didn't. Now what I'm going to do is make the same thing, except you'll also be able to modify the pitch and yaw of the bullets so you can make it do a spread, because I don't want shotgun to look like this anymore. I did originally, but after some issues with how the particles look being, like, inaccurate, I'm just going to give shotgun an actual, like, cone spread instead of, like, a parallel spread. Cool. I'll be back with hopefully a spreading shotgun. Alright, so what we should have is a bunch of rays coming out from the player at various angles and various particles, showing that this worked. Okay. To be honest, I'm not quite sure what I'm looking at. Let's go over what we're looking at. So in the code, let's see, in player, the first one has no pitch or yaw shift, so it should be straightforward, which that particle should be the flame. Is the flame going perfectly forward? Yes. Except for the fact that it's disheveled off of my center. I forgot these are all coming out from different points. Let me reload this with that fix. 1 second. Alright, there we go. So, just off rip, it looks like it's working, I think. So, golly, this is impossible to look at. The red one should be perfectly straightforward, which it looks like it is, which is cool. That means I didn't break that. The electric spark one, the pink one right there, that one should be, let's double check. Yeah, it's spark crit magic. It is 15-15, so it should be as much up as it is right, which makes sense to me. That looks good. The next one is -10-30, so it should be slightly to my this side, but mostly to my this side, which looks like it's doing. And the last one is just -negative, so it should be down, down, over, down. Yeah, I think it worked. I think we have shifts on the, like, we have pitch and yaw shift now. So now all I have to do is add this to a ray cast blast, and then we should get a bunch of them, a bunch of casts blasting out from the center or from wherever we want in different directions. Cool. Alright, I take it back. It's actually not working perfectly. When I look forward, it works. But watch the orientation of them with the pink on the left and the gray on the top right. If I go up, they should stay the same, but they start swapping. So there's something wrong with where I did the pitch math, the pitch and yaw math. I could figure this out, or I could just ask Prismly to help me with it. And I'm not quite sure what I'm going to pick yet, but it's highly likely it'll be the latter. Alright, so I literally just moved where I add the pitch and yaw shift. There's a chance this works flawlessly, and that's a good sign. Oh, it still does it. Dang it. Interesting. I'm surprised it managed to do the exact same thing twice. Am I right that this is even possible? I don't know. I'll mess with it more. Alright, so I went ahead and just kind of ignored the fact that it only worked horizontally and decided to use that to my advantage. So toaster should still work fine. There's a little bit of lag there almost. Is that lag? It looks like it's going from left to right. I don't know. I don't really care right now. But shotgun, it's pitch locked, so it should blast out 25 rays in a cone, right? That looks like a cone. I expected it to be a little bigger. But if I look down, oh, it works! Look up. Yeah, that works. We have a cone, and it should work on the RAM and stuff. And it paints, too. Ooh, what does it look like when it paints? Well, that was a rather uninteresting shape. Let's try that again. Well, whatever. But, let's make that bigger and see if it's actually working. Alright, so we should have a lot bigger of a spread now. Oh, that's lagging now. Daggone it. I was hoping we wouldn't hit that issue. But that's a shotgun blast. It does what it's supposed to do. Let's see if it kills the ram. Kablooey! Yep. Oh, this is definitely lagging. I was hoping we wouldn't run into an issue of lag ever, so I think we're gonna have to optimize some of this. Can't have as many rays as I'm going for right now. Okay, let's go back to the draw. I don't know. I'm just gonna go. I know, game. Thank you. I'm just gonna, I don't know. I'll be back. Alright, so I should have... If you guys realized at some point during the video, the toaster and the shotgun were firing way more bullets than they were supposed to be, and I just now realized it was doing that. That's why it was most likely lagging. So if I fire toaster now, it's back to just being 4x3, no lag. Awesome. Yeah, that just works. So hopefully now we should have a version of shotgun that I'm happy with. I lowered it so it's below the camera, and it only has horizontal spread. Okay, apparently I didn't lower it, but that's not bad. I thought I also gave it 2 in height. Let's mess with that real quick. Alright, so I fixed it. Now we get the blast that's below my screen height. 2 layers of it. But honestly, after seeing 2 layers, it honestly just looks a bit crowded. What I might do is just do 1 layer and just have shotgun be very flat in the way that it attacks. Yeah, we'll give that a try. I kind of like the vibes with that. Alright, so after finding out that I was dividing by 0, we have shotgun working as I intended. 5 shots, parallel, or not parallel, pitch locked, but fire, you know, in a cone, a flat cone, or a triangle. Yes, a triangle. It's neat though, I didn't really expect this is the shape that it paints when it does. Since it's based off all the rays, you get this massive just clump of ink. And it's still just as far as it used to be about, but now it's just better at, like, filling areas really fast, kind of like Bucket. Yeah. Also, thanks to Moon Tier, she helped me figure out the dividing by 0 thing. Alright, so we should have the basic setup for now allowing rocket jump to work separately from firing the gun. So if I look forward, fires the gun. Look slightly up, fires the gun. But if I look mostly down, it says rocket jump. Awesome. And the 2 things we have to check is looking, or several things you have to check is looking straight down. Works. And I feel like looking straight up is not going to work. It does not work, I was correct. I'll have to double check that real quick. And then finally, I need to look at exactly 60. Because that's where the difference that's where the difference of angles happens. Why are you not working? Me. Thank you. 60 fires the gun. 60.0001. Fires the gun. Oh, shoot, I messed that up. Okay, I'll look into that in a second. Cool. Okay, so 60.1 is slightly down, which should mean rocket jump, whereas 59.9 is slightly up, which should fire the gun. Awesome. Cool. And again, 60 exactly should be the gun. Awesome. I wanted to make sure that they both couldn't be shot at the exact same time. Cool, I just gotta fix the up thing, and then we're good with the angles. And now looking straight up should work perfectly. Just double check. Perfect, awesome. Got that fixed. Alright, so I should have full reload and the shotgun pump mechanic all set up, which means I'll have a limited fire rate, and I'll be able to reload all my bullets by crouching in 4th slot. Let's see what happens. Okay. That is not... Okay, it's like the pump is accidentally... And now I can't shoot anymore. Great. Cool. Let's reload... Let us... Okay. I think I figured out what's wrong. I think I set them both to display in the 4th slot, whereas one of them is supposed to be invisible. I'll do that real quick. Yeah, give me 1 second. Alright, so now the pump should be working. So if I mash fire, it shouldn't allow me to fire faster than that. Cool. I feel like that might need to be lengthened a little bit, but, you know, it works at least. And then, so what should happen is if I crouch, if I have no ammo, if I crouch in this slot, it gives me all my ammo back. But it doesn't take away my ammo, which is what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to pop out all the bullets and then reload a fresh new 5. Cool. I also don't like the sound. The sound is too low pitched. I think I messed up which one was the pitch and which was the volume. But we got pump working. We got the first version of the full reload working. Let's touch those up real quick. Alright, so pump should work just the same, but have a better noise. Better. And then full reload should work now, where if I don't have full ammo, I crouch. Okay, it's not supposed to play that sound over and over. I think I can fix that real quick, but honestly, it was kind of cool. Just... kind of neat. We'll reconsider, but yeah, so that's full reload working. It doesn't full reload when you have max ammo, just when you have... Cool. And your ammo's back to full. I need to set it up so you can't full reload on non-terracotta or non-tiles. Yeah, we'll set that up real quick. Alright, so I went ahead and modified the full reload. Now it actually makes just 5 sounds to count each bullet as you put it into the gun, so... And I really like that, so I think I'm going to keep that for now. I may in the future add a little ding as the bullets pop out of the gun on the first one, and then it click, 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 clicks all the bullets in. But for now, I at least like it, and I'm happy with it. And I went ahead and did this. We have rocket jumping in now. I was about to write a bunch of complicated code about, like, you know, how close you are to the player and how far to launch you. But I was like, somebody has to have done this already. So I Googled it, and .create explosion exists. So I just used that. Yeah. We're just not going to talk about how the first time I tested it, it did this. Alright, so I did 2 more things. Now, rocket jump requires the pump to be primed, so... No, it doesn't? Don't know what that's about. But now I shouldn't be able to full reload off of team tiles. So I can't do it there. But I can't do it here. Cool. Why? Okay, let me double check that. That should have been really simple. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Stop Copying and Pasting Code Without Editing It. Alright, it should work now. Okay, it does require the pump. But I forgot completely that I had originally set it up where you can't pump if you haven't touched the ground after rocket jumping. Yeah, I'll have to do that again. I'm not exactly sure how we're going to do that, but we'll do it. Alright, so I completely forgot that you're actually supposed to be able to fire in the air after rocket jumping, so I can't use the same pump I can't use the same pump variable anyways, so now I just have a separate pump that is for specifically the rocket jump and one for firing, which means now if I rocket jump, can. I don't know why there's so much delay after oh, I think I put a time, I forgot to, I copy and pasted code and didn't change it. Alright, after that stupid mistake, it should work now, or if I rocket jump, oh. Interesting. It seems that I can rocket jump twice in really quick succession. Oh, no. I can just rocket jump twice. Why? Alright, so that code I copy and pasted incorrectly. I'm going to try to use it to my advantage real quick, and hopefully now this... I'd just like to let you know I'm changing a number like one at a time, guessing and checking until it works. Let's see if this does it. Cool. Let me jump to. There's a slight let's see. I don't like that though, because now there's a slight delay when you hit the ground. Let me think about it. Alright, so I went in and added an extra delay for specifically after the rocket jump that says, for the next 2 ticks you cannot be reset, and then once you hit the ground, immediately reset for the rocket jump, which means now, if I look down and spam right click, that looks like it's firing pretty much immediately when I land. Yeah, I think we're good. I'll double check it a little bit more, and we should be good with that. Which means then all we have to do to finish off rocket jump is make it paint the ground, and make it destroy bubbles in a radius, or a hit shape. And then rocket jump should be done, and I think that's the end of shotgun? We'll see. Alright, so rocket jump now paints the ground when you rocket jump, and it claims pretty deep too, since it's such a big explosion. And it also kills bubbles on rocket jump. So if I go to bubble, fire a bunch of blue bubbles, change to red, change to shotgun rocket jump, it destroys them. But that also introduced the fact that since the bubbles now aren't, in command, the explosion used to kill the bubbles directly as opposed to detonating them. Now, if your team has bubble bombs and you rocket jump them, they just kind of get yeeted around. That was a bad example. Oh, golly. Stop. The bubbles just kind of get yeeted around, which is kind of funny. So, at the moment, I'm not going to do anything about it, but we'll see. But cool. If I'm not mistaken, shotgun's done? I think it might be done. I'll go through and do some checking, but yeah, I think shotgun and bubble are both completely ready. And we can start testing them. Like, with other people. Awesome! Alright, I ran through and did some multiplayer testing online, and after a couple bugs, everything seems to be working now. I forgot about a couple things, like making sure rocket jump costs 5 bullets when you have the ram, and making sure it claims the ram on rocket jump, and making sure it doesn't push the ram while rocket jump. Okay, there was a couple things I just forgot about rocket jump. But other than that, shotgun and bubble should be completely done. We're gonna do a playtest tonight with just my friends, make sure there's no other bugs, and here's some footage of us playing with the new weapons.
Ah, thank you for the boost.
Did that hurt
Push
you?
me again. Push me again. No, it didn't hurt me. Yeah,
Oh.
thank you.
That was barely of a help. Hiya! 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 Oh! Hiya! Hiya!
No. Yes. Aha.
Did I hit
I
you even,
jumped
Adam?
slightly. I jumped slightly.
Oh,
Gaming.
that's right. It doesn't. Good to know. Good to know. Hiya! Oh.
Oh my gosh, hitting people who are slightly not on your same horse, you just descended.
I did. I had to make that jump, I thought.
Oh.
How did
What?
how did I miss you?
I'm confused as well. Right? Wait, hit me?
I like the helicopter still here.
Okay, that didn't hit me. No! Ugh.
Oh!
Dang. Hit the
Oh.
bubble.
Oh, that was freaky.
Hit the bubble. No.
Leave me alone!
Hello.
Not
Oh,
until you get clean. You need to... Nice.
Oh, that
Nice.
got me. Dang.
Cleansed. I am a paladin on a holy quest to cleanse the enemy team of all of the dirt and all of the unclean.
You can jump over shotguns! What the frick?
that's what I'm saying.
That's hype as hell, actually.
Help me, Ben. Fill the scene with bubbles.
I will delete your bubbles. Never mind.
I deleted
Oh.
them.
Yeah, that's right. That sounds about right.
Bye. I'm dead.
Stupid call.